guys, Meredith Gorman here, and are you still not subscribed to Matt's channel? Well, if you're not, hit the subscribe button because he's giving out free picks each and every week. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
UFC Belgrade, Serbia. Yes, first time ever that the UFC is in Belgrade. You would have thought they went there before, but if you really look at it, guys, they never really had a star, Serbia. I think this is probably the best time for them, and they don't really, let's be honest, Medic is not the star. He's closest to it. He's been on a nice run. They got Rakic in there as well. That's his background, Serbian. I think he does fight out of Austria, but he is Serbian at the end of the day, and there's a handful of guys on this card from Serbia, so I think this was the best time for this card. We'll break down the main card like always, provide some picks. We'll talk market value. We'll talk some fades and more. Link.me/system capping for client opportunities. Got my socials over there, articles, client comments, records, and more. Support the system while you profit and learn how to beat the sportsbooks long term. The only thing I can guarantee every year, guys, is I'm profitable in the sport that we're handicapping. It's almost impossible to guarantee how much profit, but all I can guarantee is I'll be profitable, and some years are better than others. Like this video if you're watching on YouTube. Podcast listeners, share and review. It is much appreciated. Quick news that just dropped today, actually, about the PFL and MVP joining forces, guys. This is big news. A good move, I think, for both, because let's be honest, PFL only can go so far. They can't do big events. If they combine with MVP, we saw MVP do that one card with Netflix. It was a success, in my opinion. So if you can get the PFL roster, get their fans along with the MVP fans and MVP money that they have, I think it's a smart move from them. They could be the clear number 2 in MMA. They're never going to be able to catch the UFC due to the UFC roster structure that they built. But that a clear number 2 for the sport's not a bad thing. So I think this MVP and PFL combining is great news for MMA fans in general. For UFC, maybe it's not the best, but for MMA fighters, it's great. More, options to fight out of and probably get paid more over at PFL and MVP, to be honest. I know that's probably going to be one of their focuses, especially Jake Paul. So yeah, shout out to that. I believe it should be good for the sport. And hey, we may start adding PFL MVP breakdown cards, and I may be betting it. If we can see some legit names over there, so look out for that. UFC Abu Dhabi Recap, let's do a quick one here. I had no client card last week, but did do a podcast like we always do, and it's pretty much a clean card from what I can recall. Ankle Live we were on. We took Ankle Live by finish as well. Hopefully you did tail that. It took some time. I wasn't confident on the finish. I was confident Ankle Live would win the fight. Not a good fight, right? Fairly boring. The card in general was pretty bad. I actually didn't watch all of it. Sometimes it's tough Saturdays during the day for me, family obligations, etc. But I always catch, some of the card at least. That'll be similar to this week as well. Yes, Ankle Live won the fight, but yes, it's clear that he won the fight. He got the late finish. Hats off to him for that, I guess. Getting a finish for Ankle Live is always a good thing. Sometimes he does fight the decisions, and sometimes you can argue that he's not the most exciting fighter. And that fight kind of showed you that too, right? That the UFC is not fully behind him, and that's part of the reason why. He's not an exciting fighter. A lot of Russians came through on the card, guys. 6 wins and 4 on the main card. So a shout out to them. I was backing most of them on the card last week. Always good to back them in that region, as they do fight out of there, do have fans that travel for them as well. Let's get into this card, guys. Let's get into this card. Shop around. It's not a great card. It's not a great card for Serbia's first card. But the good thing is they got a lot of faces they know. So I think that's the most important thing, right? There's no big fights, but they got guys they know. 6, apparently, Serbian fighters. 3 that you guys will know. for the most part, and we'll talk about those three here shortly, starting with the main event. Main event, Medic minus 425. Yikes, guys. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Versus Rodriguez plus 325. Now, Medic should not be minus 425, even though I do believe he should win this fight. Couple reasons we'll go over shortly, but there's value right off the bat for Rodriguez. Why? Rodriguez fought the better guys, has the better wins, better resume. But the reason why he's plus 325, one, he got to travel. One, the main reason I believe, he was just in jail, guys. He was just in jail. I think most of you guys that listen to me probably heard this. He was in jail in Mexico for trying to bring weed over the border. And he was in there for quite some time. He's just out maybe 2-3 months, I would say. I could be wrong about that. He was on Joe Rogan a month ago talking about it. I would say probably 3-4 months he's been out. So how much is he training for this fight? Medic, obviously on a nice run right now. It's going to be interesting. Interesting to see how Rodriguez fights in this one, because how much has he been training? It's hard to really say, right? He was on Joe Rogan podcast saying he was training boxing in there. But obviously, like I mentioned, he's been out for some time now. So it's not like he just got out of jail last month. So keep that in mind, guys. So right off the bat, from a market standpoint, there's value on Rodriguez plus 325. Medic should not be minus 425 in this spot. He hasn't beat anyone that I'm overly impressed with. Now, keep in mind, Jeff Neal, he's 1-4 in his last 5 fights. His head's not in the game right now. So that was his best win, Medic. It was his last win. And he's more of a knockout or bust. And right, Rodriguez is very difficult to knock out. He's only been finished once on the feet. So if Medic doesn't get his early finishes, what does he look for, right? Most of his fights are first round. Last 5 fights ended in the first round. 11 knockouts in 13 wins. So that's how he wins fights. What if this fight gets into round 3, 4, 5? We've seen Medic only in one three-round fight before, and he actually got a late stoppage. I don't think there's really a cardio issue there. But what happens if this just gets into the deeper rounds, championship rounds? This is a 5-round fight, guys. So there are some unknowns and concerns, but with both guys here. The factor also that he's fighting at home, guys, I always like to bring this up. It doesn't really favor the fighter. I agree that there are aspects that could. One, you don't got to travel. You're used to the time and the surrounding. So there's that aspect. But there's also the aspect of fighting at home in front of more family and friends. For the most part, that's pressure, more obligations during the week. That's another thing. So it's more, how does the fighter adapt to fighting at home and that pressure? That you can't say, right? I can't tell you how he's going to. Some fighters, it's great fighting at home. Some fighters don't react well. So I don't factor that in too much into the handicap. But you got to look at Rodriguez travel to Serbia. Not an easy travel from the U.S. Doesn't know the surroundings. Very different country over there compared to what he's used to in Mexico or the U.S. So keep that in mind. That's why I am favoring Medic in this fight. I think he lands more, lands the bigger shots. And maybe hurts Rodriguez at some point. This fight should stay on the feet for the most part. I just think he's just overvalued here at 425. And money's coming in on him. This opened around minus 350, guys. Money continues to come on Medic. I get it. He's the side I like as well. Don't love it. I think Rodriguez is live here. Just how is he going to bounce back from the jail term? How much has he been training? There's some question marks for Rodriguez. He's also 39, guys. He's also 39. He needs money. Right? So there's just a little more question mark with D-Rod here. So Medic will have to be the play. I would lean the finish. I would lean it. Again, we haven't seen Rodriguez get finished a lot, so that does concern me a little bit. But can we see this fight really going 5 rounds? Maybe. It's possible. That's why the money line's a little more intriguing, but not that price, of course. So I'm not in the business of betting Medic against anyone at minus 450. I do like the little run he's on right now. Again, fighting at home. Hopefully he's one of those guys that it does help. And I believe he gets his 4th straight win here. Medic will be the side. Co-main, Jan Blachowicz is back at 43, guys. Very impressive. 43 years old. One of the oldest guys in MMA. Plus 250 versus Sterling minus 310. You know, I agree Sterling should be the favorite in this fight. 250, 300 is kind of what I thought here. There are some concerns, though, and why it can't be 100% on Sterling. I think Sterling wins this fight 8 or 9, probably 8 out of 10 times. Jan, he's not done. Like, he's 43, but he's not done. He's coming off a draw against Guskov. Then 2 losses against top for the food chain guys. And he was in those fights. Like the Alberg fight, he was around in it. And he also has a draw against Ankalaev. So fun fact, 2 draws in his last 4 fights. You don't hear that often, if ever. And he's not out of these fights, guys. Very difficult to finish. But Sterling, guys, it's going to be quicker, younger, like a lot younger. He's like 28, 29. Only 10-0. Only 10-0. So he's still somewhat raw. He's not polished. And he's going against a vet and the ex-champ like Jan. So there is slight concern there. The other concern, guys, he fought a month ago. So this is a short notice fight that he's taking here. How much is that going to factor in for a younger guy? I don't think a ton. But it is something worth mentioning when you're handicapping. What I think Jan should do and where you would have an advantage is try to wrestle. Try to bully him. If you're just going to stand and point fight with a kickboxer, it's going to be bad news. Sterling's going to be quicker in there. He's younger. He's more athletic, etc. But Jan does have the experience. If he tries to wrestle, can he wrestle for long periods of time? Probably not. Interesting fight. Interesting fight. This is Sterling's big fight. Right? He's coming off the Kulalaba win. That's a good win. No slouch there. And he fairly won convincingly. So this is his big name on his resume to get. I think he gets it done. I think it's very difficult to call an outcome here. I think it's difficult. I can see this going to decision, guys. Jan's just very difficult to finish. And Sterling's not some power puncher that's just going to knock you out with a shot. But again, 43 on. Can he take a big shot if he gets caught? There are questions there. Sterling's the play here. Again, I think he wins this 8 out of 10 times, so it's not like a clear runaway because I haven't seen him against a guy like Jan before. The veteran, savvy guy. I just don't know how much is left from him, guys. Rakic minus 350 versus Taboria plus 275. Oh, another line that you can't agree with this price, just like the main event. Rakic minus 350. Who's in the business of betting Rakic minus 350 against anybody? And he's moving up to heavyweight, guys. He's moving up to heavyweight for this fight against Tabora plus 275. Now, I'm no Tabora fan. He used to be fairly good like years ago. Now he just fell down. He's take a big step back, guys. Lost to Fortune, lost to the Layaja. He's not, in his last 2 fights, he's not looking good. But he's going to have the size advantage, the weight advantage, the grappling advantage. Does he use that in this fight? Rakic, we know, heavy hands, good kicker, could really hurt you on the feet. But this is first move up to heavyweight. I don't know how he's going to look. And you're telling me to pay $350? Come on, guys. Taboria is in the European region. I don't think travel or time is going to be an issue, so I'm not going to look at that here. I just would never bet Rakic at this price at minus 350. It's a crazy line. If you guys are taking shots on Taboria plus 275, I wouldn't call you crazy. This is a straight pass for me and a fade for me. But it's the only way I can look. Right? Rakic hasn't won a fight since 2000 and what? 22. A couple things going on his side. He'd probably be a little quicker there on the feet, coming from light heavyweight. And he has very good takedown defense at 85%. So if Topuria tries to take him down, I don't think he's going to have success there, guys. So stay away from this one, guys. Value on Topuria plus 275. Don't like the fighter. Value at that price. Rockets should never be this big of a favorite against anybody, especially moving up to a division we've never seen him at. Why would I take a shot? Now, could he catch Topuria? He put on some size, lands a big shot? Of course. Of course, of course. I'm just not a Rakic fan, not a Topuria fan. I'm staying away from this one, guys. Todorovic, the other Serbian on the main card. Plus 175 versus Valentine, minus 160. Give me the Serbian here. There's value here at plus 130. I have this fight 50-50, guys. So you're giving me Todorovic at plus 135. Sign me up. Now, we're always scared of his chin. Right? He's not very durable. It does scare me, but he's going to have a wrestling grappling advantage here. Valentine does not have a lot of power. Only 3 KOs and 11 wins, guys. He's not a power puncher. So I think Todorovic is live to win this fight. I think if he wrestles, make this MMA fight, he has a good chance. I think he can wrestle, get Valentine down. He does have a 55% takedown defense. So it could be exposed in this fight. I think he has a good game plan. It doesn't just stand and bang with Valentine. He wins this fight. So give me the value here. I think there's a value price, value line on Todorovic. If he makes his MMA fight, mix in some wrestling and grappling, I think he can win this fight. Sign me up at this price. Last one we'll talk about here, guys. And it's Klein, minus 250 versus Musayev, plus 205, the Russian. Value on him, on the Russian, in my opinion, on Musa here. Coming off a win over Bahamondes, which is an impressive win, a good win on your resume. Klein, winner of 4 of his last 5. Rebecki was a good win for him last time out, and prove he could beat a wrestler. So if the Russian will just decide to wrestle here, which he does have an advantage, can Klein counter that? And he has shown pretty good takedown defense over his career at 76%. Klein will be the more clean and polished striker on the feet. But the Russian's fairly well-rounded. Fairly well-rounded. He can strike as well. Just not a lot of volume from his side. I expect him to try to wrestle here. Get this fight down to the ground and try to control Klein there. I just know how much success he'll have there. Definitely value at this price. If I were to bet a side here, it would be with the value at 205 on the Russian. I like Klein, though. I like him. I don't like betting against him. It's just I don't like betting him as a minus 250 favorite here. This is a fight I could see going over the 2.5 rounds. That'd probably be my favorite bet here. Over 2.5 rounds. Fight go the distance as well. I can see that. From a side, though, value on the price on the Russian. I'm staying away from a side here, though, guys. That will do it. That will do it. Not a great card, especially from a betting standpoint. There's a lot of larger favorites that a couple I like. It's just hard to get to. Not easy to call an outcome on some of them as well. Yeah, so this card's more for Serbia. Shout out to them for getting a card. Shout out to them for having actually 6 guys on on this fight card. That's great for the region there and to expand in that region. I'll be watching most of the card. It's an afternoon card again on a Saturday. Sometimes it can be a conflict, but I'll definitely be catching the main card. Like I always say, guys, bet smart and know your limits. Enjoy this card.